Well, hello everyone. My name is Ian and this is the Econobox Garage. As we continue with our Bugeye build in this week's episode, the goal is to get the metalwork finished on the seats, get the wooden spacer strips finished for those seats, and get them dry fit into the car. So let's get started on that. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy this week's video. The new tracks I got have a hole at one end for bolting, and it has a stud welded on the other end. Now, there's a couple of spots on this car that those won't work. I have two options. I can either take the grinder and take these ones off, because the situation here, the holes here have captive nuts on the other side, so I won't be able to thread that stud into that. I'm okay here. I can use one of the holes here and just a regular bolt. And on the other side, same situation, as there's the captive nuts on the underside of the floor there, and there's one of them on the other side as well. So I think on at least two of the tracks, I'm going to have to remove that stud so I can just use a regular bolt. In installing the frames into the Bugeye, there needs to be a wooden strip between the bottom of the track itself and the floor that will lift it up to clear the reinforcing in the floor itself. Now these are available ready-made from places like Moss Motors and Bugeye Guy, but they can be quite pricey. So what I did is I just picked up some oak 1x2, ripped it down to an appropriate size. I've made them a little thicker than stock so it clears the carpet. And then I'll just cut these to length and drill the holes I need to mount those. So the 1x2 I picked up was about $9 Canadian for a 4-foot section. So the next step is to cut these to length, drill some holes, and get them ready to go. Before final installation, I will put a coat of oil-based varnish or a deck sealer or something on these, because they will be bolted directly to the floor. So what I'm going to work on now is getting these wood strips cut to the proper size. There's the first of the 4 wooden spacers for the seat tracks. So I'll just, and I've done a trial fit, and I just not had it to oval out that hole a little bit. And so we're ready to do the next 3, and we can start bolting things together. So I'm just getting ready to install the seats. There's or the seat frames at least. The first thing I'm going to do is clean the threads in the 3 holes on this side that have the captive nuts. So what this does will clean out all the paint and undercoat I've put on when I finished off the floors here. Now there's just the 3 holes to clean out. There's a hole here that is just that. There's no captive nut on the other side, which works well with the tracks that I've got. I'll just show you that in a moment here. I'll just go put that away. Now those are cleaned off. I've got my spacers that I made a little earlier, and those will go underneath the rails on the seat. Now you'll see here that I already have the tracks on the seat frame itself, and this one here, you can see that has a stud on it, and that will go through the hole in the floor. The other track did have a stud on it, but I cut that off, as you've seen earlier in the video, in preparation for these. So I'll line these up. So I'll just get these set onto the spacers and in an approximate position, and go from there. So we'll get that one into the hole, that one there. Now I've got the seat frame slid quite a ways forward so I can get to the 2 bolts easily on each end here. And those bolts are just 1/4 inch by 1 inch UNF. So I've got new grade 8 bolts from a local supplier, and we'll put a washer on there, and we'll just get these holes all lined up as best we can and get everything started just really loosely. I'll just grab my 7/16 socket and get that caught by a couple of threads. And get this one on. I'm just going to lift it out of the hole at the front here to give me a little bit more wiggle room. Now this is just basically a dry fit. I have sound deadener to go in, and then of course the carpet will go in, and then these seats and tracks will go in. I have to make sure I get in the hole there. Now this one here, can't get a socket on it, so you just have to use a spanner. I have the 3 bolts started with the captive nuts. I'll just make sure that my last one with the stud on it is in the hole. I'll get the nut and washer on that underneath. Now of course when I put these in, when I do the final installation on these, I will be putting some grease on the sliders to make them slide. Because right now it's they are a little tight. But there we have, the operating lever is on the outside, or on the door side. Now, okay, this is the passenger side of my car. With it being a left-hand drive car, normally a Bugeye's seat on this side would just be on fixed brackets. But as I've mentioned in earlier videos, these seats are from a later Mk1 Sprite, so both the passenger and driver's seat are adjustable. So levers on the door side, clip that over, and this will slide back and forth until it catches. So you can see that. Let's clean that again. So when it gets to the position you want it in, the lever just pops into one of the holes on the track. So I'm just going to slide that all the way back. It clips in. I'll put the seat back on, and the seat pan, and to give you a rough idea of what that's going to look like when it's all finished. Of course, these will have a foam and upholstery on them for the finished product. So the seat pan fits in there. And the seat back will go on there. Now I'm pretty sure these seat backs will be installed on the frame prior to the car getting installed in the car. So, but there you have it. That's how the seats get installed, and that's as far as I can get to right now. But that's about as far as I'm going to go with the seats for now. Well, there we have it. The seats are dry fit into the car, and it does look more like a car with those seats in there. But that's all I have time for this week. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and come back next week when I'll be working on the bonnet. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And just for fun, I threw the foam into the seats to get an even better idea of what they'll look like.